You can name 3 people who got away with it. The charmer who lied to your face and was forgiven. The boss everyone feared and followed anyway. The friend who somehow always won. You have words for them. Toxic, manipulative, a narcissist. Words we throw like stones, and always at other people, never at ourselves. Hold on to that. We come back to it, because the traits behind those words are not a box you are in or out of. They are measured on a scale, and you are somewhere on it. Every single person is somewhere on it. There is a name for the 3 of them, twisted together into one chord. In 2002, 2 psychologists, Paulhus and Williams, noticed 3 dark traits that kept traveling together, so they named the cluster the Dark Triad: Narcissism, Machiavellianism, Psychopathy. Not disorders, not the monsters of a horror film, subclinical. The everyday dinner table versions of each, a dial, not a diagnosis, turned low in most people, turned low somewhere in you. You have run a small version of all 3 this week, and you did not notice a thing. And the uncomfortable part is not that these traits exist, it is that they work, and that we reward them. Take the first, narcissism, the hunger to be admired, the inflated self that needs to be the best in the room, and to be seen as it. You know the everyday version, the one who turns every story back to themselves, who cannot let another person hold the light for long, and watch what happens when you wound them. The charm drops in an instant, and something cold and furious looks back. Because under the grandeur is a mirror that must never crack. You feel a drop of this every time you fish for a compliment. The second, Machiavellianism, the strategist. The world is a board, people are pieces, and the end justifies the move. The everyday version befriends whoever is useful this quarter, warm to your face, already quietly pricing your worth. They assume everyone is playing a game, so they play first and harder. You feel a drop of it every time you rehearse a line to get a yes. The third, psychopathy, the cold nerve. Low fear, low empathy, a taste for the thrill, acting without the flinch. The everyday version does the ruthless thing and feels no aftermath, no knot in the stomach, no lost sleep. And that absence of a flinch is not always a flaw, which is the strangest part of the whole story. The same nerve that is monstrous in an alley is prized in an operating room, in a cockpit, on a trading floor at the worst possible moment. Society does not truly hate the trait. It hates the trait out of place. It is why the line between the celebrated and the convicted is thinner than we like. Often it is not the trait that differs, but the packaging, the self-control, the luck, whether they were ever caught. 3 different flavors, but dig beneath them and there is a single root. A willingness to put yourself first, at the cost of everyone else. Cold manipulation, wearing 3 different coats. In the plain language of personality science, they share exactly one thing: low agreeableness, distinct on the surface, the very same disregard underneath. And here is what almost no one tells you. With these traits, the dose is the entire story. A drop of narcissism is just healthy confidence, the quiet belief you are worth listening to. A drop of Machiavellianism is social intelligence, reading the room and playing it well. A drop of psychopathy is calm under fire, the nerve to decide while everyone else freezes. Now turn the same dials up. Confidence curdles into grandiosity, strategy into manipulation, nerve into cruelty. Same trait, different volume. That is the only line between an asset and a predator. Now the part that should genuinely unsettle you. We do not punish these traits. On sight, we reward them. Confidence reads as competence. Certainty reads as truth. Ruthlessness reads as strength. Charm reads as warmth. So the person with the dial turned up wins the first impression, almost every time. And think about how little time we give it. 10 minutes decide a hire. 1 evening decides a date. There is no time to see substance in 10 minutes, only surface. And surface is exactly what the dial fakes best. Put a room of strangers together, and we quietly crown the most confident one the leader. Not the most able, the loudest self-belief. Studies find narcissists rise as leaders, then lead no better than anyone else. The strategist climbs while everyone else is busy playing fair. Manipulation, done smoothly, just looks like ambition, and the one who feels almost no fear. In a crisis, his flatness reads as poise. His boldness hands him the high-status seat. It runs in love, too. Confidence, boldness, status, magnetic on sight, at least for a night. And now we have built a machine that rewards it at scale. The feed pays out for the boldest claim, the surest face, the most shameless performance. We vote for the dial. We date the dial. We promote the dial. Then we act surprised by who ends up in charge of everything. But every one of those rewards is paid up front, and the bill always arrives late. Eroded trust, wrecked teams, used people left behind like packaging. And by the time the damage is visible, he has already been promoted, or already moved on. That is the entire engine. Reward now, damage later. And the damage is paid by everyone standing around him. The lag is why the dark traits keep winning, and there is a deeper reason they persist. A cheat only works while almost everyone else plays honest. A few takers thrive precisely because the many give, which is why it can never be everyone. The dark traits need a crowd of the decent to feed on. And here is why you can spot all of this so fast in other people. You recognize it because you carry the machinery yourself. The pull to embellish, to calculate, to not care. So the distance between you and the person you call toxic is not a wall, it is a dial, and it is turned up further than you admit. And notice this. The more certain you are that you have none of it, the higher one of those dials is quietly running. Certainty of your own innocence is the loudest tell of all. So the Dark Triad is not a species of monster living among the normal. It is 3 dials, and every human being was handed the set at birth, and they did not survive because they are rare or sneaky or well hidden. They survived because we pay for them. We hand status, love and power to the surface, to confidence, to strategy, to nerve, and get the bill much later. So the monster is not hiding among us. We are the ones promoting him, because at low volume, the trait that hurts you looks exactly like the strength you admire. We do not have a monster problem. We have a reward problem. So the useless question is, who around me is the narcissist, the psychopath? That is the stone throwing that keeps you blind. And notice the little thrill of throwing it, the hit of superiority in the word narcissist. That is a dial too. The useful question has 2 halves. First, where is my own dial higher than I admit? The flattery I fish for, the person I used and called it business, the flinch I never felt. And second, the harder one. What am I rewarding? Whose confidence am I mistaking for competence right now? Whose charm am I reading as character? And here is the good news buried in all of this. A dial can be turned. Not by shaming the trait into the basement that only drives it into the dark where it runs you blind, but by changing what you clap for. Reward the quiet competence over the loud claim, in others and in yourself. Applaud the one who says, "I am not sure." And notice how rarely, how reluctantly we ever do. Because the dark traits do not spread through villains, they spread through applause, yours included. You came here to learn to spot the dangerous people. Leave knowing you have been paying them, and that one of the dials has always been in your own hand. See what people hide, even from themselves.